Donald Trump traveled to the small city of Cullman, Alabama this past weekend, where he held a rally, and he did a lot of predictable things. First and foremost, he pretty much kicked off his speech by talking about how the election was allegedly stolen from him, and that elicited a lot of cheers from the crowd. He praised the Taliban, talked about how he's worked with them for a long time, reasonable, I guess, people, he thinks. So that, believe it or not, drew applause from the crowd. But there was one thing the guy said that made the crowd respond by booing him. And here it is.
3 days less than 9 months, and it's great. And you know what? I believe totally in your freedoms. I do. You got to do what you have to do. But I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccines. But no, that's okay. That's all right. You got your freedoms. But I happen to take the vaccine. If it doesn't work, you'll be the first to know, okay? I'll call up Alabama and say, hey, you know what? But it is working. But you do have your freedoms. You have to maintain that. You have to maintain that. And you got to get your kids back to school.
This is what happens. This is what happens when you create the monster and then you try to tell the monster, hey, stop being a monster. Nope. You did this. You created this. And you got to live with the consequences of that. Again, the perfect analogy of this truly is the Frankenstein's monster. You created it all. You didn't have to. Nobody was begging you to do it. You just decided you were going to do it. And now look, now they're booing you on stage. So here's the thing. This was probably the most pathetic call to action I've ever heard. Because he's not out there saying, no, you really need to get this. He wasn't firm in it at all. He's just saying, I understand your freedoms. You got your freedoms. Freedom. But, if you can, you maybe do it. I got it. But, your freedom's totally your freedom. Like, what a coward. How can anybody who watched that clip, who watched any of this speech, look at this man and say, that's a powerful leader. This is a true leader. This is a guy who knows what the hell he's talking about. That was so weak-willed that it just showed us how pathetic this man is. Reports started coming out early last week saying that Donald Trump didn't want to encourage his followers to get vaccinated because he was afraid of them. He was afraid of them, didn't want to piss them off. And to his credit, he did say, I think you should get it. But then he, sandwiches that in between. But you have your freedoms. You do not have the freedom to infect another human being with a disease. You do not. In fact, we actually have laws against intentionally doing that here in the United States. You're legally not allowed to knowingly do this. So no, it's not about your personal freedom. It's about the health of everyone else around you. That's the problem. This mode of thinking that, we have our freedoms. You do not have the freedom to go out there and give me a disease. You do not have the freedom to infect your neighbor, anyone at the grocery store, wherever the hell you are. You don't have the freedom to do that here in the United States. So stop trying to frame it as such, because that is not a freedom that exists anywhere here in the United States. But Trump's not going to stop. He's going to continue doing this, continue spreading the misinformation, of course, about the election, which, again, he did to kick off his speech, which is exactly what I said is always going to happen anytime this man gets a microphone. Oh, and by the way, city of Cullman, where he gave this speech, Cullman, I believe it is, not Coleman, Cullman, actually had to declare a COVID emergency because cases are rising in the city. And you go to this event, which was basically a mask-free event, people crammed in shoulder to shoulder. This is going to become a super spreader situation in a town that is already overwhelmed because they had to declare a COVID emergency from this disease. But Trump didn't care. He wasn't about to cancel. He wasn't about to show any sign of weakness. But I got to tell you, that little clip you just saw, that was about a week of a human being as they come. One of today's video sponsors is PureVPN, and right now they have an exclusive offer for our Ring of Fire viewers. Go to link.purevpn.com/theringofire and get a 2-year subscription for just $2.88 per month. PureVPN recently passed another audit where they were verified to not keep any logs of user activity, which is a magnificent testament to their commitment to privacy. Their always-on third-party audit means that there will be no logs kept regarding your activity, and they're the only VPN available with this feature. PureVPN offers fast and reliable VPN services with more than 6,500 servers. It secures your connection on all your devices with easy-to-use apps across all major platforms, and 10 multi-logins so you can use it with freedom on any device you want. It helps you stream all you want, including 7 Netflix regions: US, UK, Canada, Australia, France, Germany, Japan, and of course Amazon Prime, BBC iPlayer UK, ITV UK, and many others. And they offer dedicated IP from 7 different countries if you need a stable static IP for yourself. And it makes activities like working from home and gaming easier with much more seamless connection compared to a shared IP. And it helps you purchase all kinds of online deals with lesser prices by connecting to certain regions. So whether it's for games on Steam or flight tickets, they've got you covered. And of course, it keeps you secure no matter where you are with public Wi-Fi protection. So go to link.purevpn.com/theringofire to get a 2-year subscription for just $2.88. That is a wonderful bargain on great internet protection.